All right, Grand Rising, greetings, good day, and welcome to all of you. You all are tuned into the Peak Wellness Hour, and we have got some technical difficulties today. So thank you. Just come on in, invite a friend. We are here for week 3 of our Matters of the Heart series, and we're going to dive into the relational heart today. Love and family, friendship, and community. So, you definitely want to invite a friend or a loved one, family member for this conversation. If you don't catch it all, make sure you catch it on replay. So stay tuned, grab your pen and paper. Of course, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and we will be right back. Oh, where am I? There I am. All right. Welcome, everyone. We are in the digital building. Grand Rising to Queen Kathy B with the United Empires of Akiba line. Happy Saturday to you. Are you traveling today, Queen? She's always traveling. I'm getting on her level. I'm going to get on her level. So, Grand Rising to you. I know you travel, Queen. I'm trying to get on that level. Hope everyone is well today. We are again on week 3 of the conversation, Matters of the Heart. And we've dealt with what we do, the emotional heart. What was the first week?
We talked about romantic love, basically,
First
focusing
week.
a lot more on falling in love and Valentine, and we didn't delve deep. It was light. We just
No, the week before, the first week, the proverbial heart is what
the
we did.
professional
Yep.
hearts. Yeah.
Yep. And then we've done the
The,
emotional heart. Yep. Last week. And so
yeah.
now we're into the relational heart. We're talking about love in family, friendship, and community. So this is going to be an interesting one. And I know I dived into kind of tampered into the conversation about being single and embracing that last week with the expectation to talk about um, on the marriage side. But we're going to save that for next week because we have a great conversation to present to you today, and we'll lead into that next week. So I'm very excited about it. But before we dive into that, Queen Eve's going to take us in. Yesterday, she was yesterday. That's what's up.
Happy Saturday, family and friends. I hope your Saturday is relaxing because mine has not been, but it's been good though. It's good. It's been good. Um, how was your Valentine's Day? What did you guys do? Can you share a little bit of what some of you did? Queen, what did you do? I would like to know, okay? But this morning we are delving into the relational heart, why it matters, why it matters. It's so important. During COVID, we found out the power of connection. We learned a lot about the power of connection, not just connection over the phone, but in person connection. A lot of people went through depression and all kinds of situations during that period because they were not having the connection. A simple thing as hugs and just being in the company of people. We did underestimate that until COVID hit. Even marriages, a lot of marriages suffered because husband and wife don't know how to live together 24/7. Going away to work and relating to other people and doing stuff was really helpful. Well, why does the relational heart matters? Number one, it influences how we trust. Number two, how we communicate, how we handle conflict, how we receive correction, how we give and receive love. Okay. And a lot of these things are built from the beginning, our childhood. Though as we grow, we can make adjustments and change. Okay, our earliest relational experiences as family, our attachment style. Did we have you ever talked deep on attachment here? Maybe one day. It's one of my
I don't think we
favorite
did.
subjects as a therapist. One of my favorite things. I love attachment because of the impact it has on us. Emotional expressions, conflict patterns, expectations of loyalty. Okay. The way we were loved becomes the way we love. Queen, the way we were loved becomes the way we love unless we take intentional steps to
Mhm.
develop and grow and mature and figure out how we know love is right. Okay, so we're going to delve as deep as we possibly can. We've taken a lot of time this morning, technical difficulties and Edith issues. Edith issues. Queen G is taking the fall. Don't let her take it. Edith issues and technical difficulties. But we are here. And even if we give you 30 to 45 minutes of solid information, it will be worth
Absolutely.
your while. Okay, I miss having Bree and Kane Sean on here.
Yes,
Miss having
yes,
them
yes.
here. This will be a great subject for Bree to be on. We miss her, and we
Yeah.
hope to see her
We're,
very soon.
we're
So
right,
she's
Queen Lori.
busy.
Yes, yes, she's busy, busy. I think we're all
She's busy.
busy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So before we delve deep, Queen, I'm gonna ask our viewers, our beautiful viewers, a question. I see Laurie Collins, I see Queen Kathy B, I see. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, what did love look like in your family growing up? Question number one. Number two, was it expressive or silent? Was it conditional or did it feel secure to you? Question number one, what did love look like when you were growing up? What did it look like in your family? Number two, was it expressive or silent? Number three, I know who you're typing. Do you want me to repeat something?
Mhm. What was the second one?
The second one, was it expressive or silent? And the third one, was it conditional or secure? This is your opinion. Doesn't mean that was necessarily what it was, but the way you felt it, see it, and experience it is very important, irrespective of what someone says it is. Okay, so since I've talked so much, I'll let Queen start, and we are hoping that we will get some comments from you. We want to see what, yeah, we want to see what your thoughts are on that. What did love look like in your family, Queen? Then I will answer too.
Yeah, you want me to answer?
If you want to,
Oh,
don't
sure, I
feel
can
pressure.
answer. Yeah, absolutely. It was expressive. I grew up with I know both my parents love me, but I grew up with my mom raising us primarily, and it was expressive love. It was there was communication. I was talking to who I might have been talking to my sister the other day. I believe I was, and just talking about how when we got in trouble, my mom didn't just now there were times where you got popped and slapped because you're talking under your breath and saying like you need to be popped in the mouth kind of thing. But when I was in trouble, when that, when that whooping came, and it was well deserved, it was go to your room. I need a timeout. And it was never out of anger. And that explanation afterwards, why I got my butt whipped, like I didn't know why I deserved this whooping, but she explained those things. And that's part of love too, is communication when it comes to, at a level and that foundation, and love being the first language. Um, as a child, understanding boundaries and structure and foundation. So for me it was expressive, and then just growing up with that whole village kind of raised as a child. When I got in trouble at home, I my aunt was coming. You all know Queen Gloria Carter, she's been on here. My grandmother was coming. Um but then when we were praised too, and we were lifted up, and when that came from home, it came from the aunts, it came from the grandparents, it came from the uncles, that growth and that empowerment. So it went on both sides. So yeah, I can say that it was overall a solid
Express.
foundation.
What did it look like in your eyes as a child?
What did it look like in my eyes? It looked like things that I would want to implement in my own family structure, and there were things that I learned that I would do different. And I learned those things through having love and respect for my parents, even though things were not always easy. Grand rising to my king, Uncle Brian Carter, with Black Men's Group BMG in the house. But I recognize that, you know, love love means doing the work. Love is sacrifice. Love is giving as well as receiving.
But
You
as
know,
a child, let me not put you.
no, and that's well as a child.
What did it look like?
It
Should I?
looked like something overall things I wanted to mimic.
Okay.
And like I said, things that I didn't, out of love, and I guess that kind of came later. That different love and respect, that understanding from my parents. So you're right, but it looked acceptable, and I was able to see where some things were not acceptable, and love myself enough to at a young age, because I was as a teenager. So, having to implement those things and understanding and sift through those things, I think I had the tools to actually see what I felt was love, you know. So,
It's very interesting. I'm reading King Brian Carter says it was silent but understood. Mom hugs and affirms. Mom hugs and affirmations. No real
mhm.
dad hugs, but some affirmations looking back needed open hugs. Okay. Um, I think Queen Kathy B says, grew up with both parents, felt loved by them in the middle of expressive and silence. Love felt secure, more expressive now as an adult than she was as a child. What did love look like to me in my family? I also grew up with both parents at home. It looked like presence, it looked like provision because they were always present. Of course, dad went to work, but he would come home. It looked like service. My dad was a stay at home. My mom was a stay away at home mom. What she did was she did trading. She's traded. She baked anything you can think about that we knew in Ghana. Scones, meat pies, our Ghana meat pies. I'm gonna pick up some meat pies. I'll pass by and bring you some scones, meat pies, bread, tarts, all kinds of things, and sold. She sold rice. My mother sold to support my father. So my mother was always home. If she was not home, she was going to the market. We weren't going to grocery store. We were going to the what you call the farmers market. That was our kind of market where she go and bargain for food. So there was always food in our home. So the presence was there. Mom and dad were very playful with each other and with us. It was expressive. We were able to express ourselves, share our thoughts, share what we were feeling. As far as from my eyes, okay, I don't remember the explicit words of "I love you" or hugging. I will hold on to my mother's clothes by expressive love and I hug, I love you. No. From my growing up in the Ghana culture, I don't remember my mother at that age telling me I love you. The first time my mother told me I love you, I was in America and I'd called there and we were talking. I realized that she was really missing me and she said, I love you, my daughter. And so that was the first time my mother said, I love you. But we knew we were loved. We were whipped. It's also, it's looked like discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like discipline. It looked like structure. It looks like service. We all played the role we needed to play to make sure the household, everybody has a chore, and we all did it.
Mm-hmm.
We rotated chores. Okay, so yes, it was expressive in a way that we can share our thoughts. We were not afraid
Mm-hmm.
to share our thoughts. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I debated with my father all the time. I had a mouth on me. I've always had a mouth on me. When I met my husband and introduced him to my father said, my daughter has a mouth. Can you handle it? That's the first thing he said. And to this day, I have a mouth. I'm not questioning. It's meant to preach the word of God and do what I do. So my mouth is still doing its work. As a child, it was all over the place. But yeah, okay. What else? Was it conditional or secure? I don't think it was conditional. The
Mm-hmm.
only time it looked like conditional is if you get A on this, if you get B on this schoolwork, then you will get that. That was not. I don't think the love was didn't seem conditional. We were provided for. We are taken care of. We had roofs over our head, and we did our job. We played our roles as the everybody from mom to dad. Everybody had a job and Saturday
Mm-hmm.
mornings was beautiful. So that's how love looks like growing up. And I do yearn for that. I do yearn for that. All right. Any more comments? I saw
And you know,
okay.
I'll say it's my husband and his father passed before him and I met, but his mother was just lovely. His family's lovely. So shout out to the Tardy family. But he spoke on that how his father didn't tell him, tell them that they love him. He's the youngest of eight. So, but as you know, as the older ones, grew up, the relationship was kind of different, and you just learn as you grow. And it's interesting to me because I've always heard that. I've always heard that, and I think maybe that might be a issue. My husband's have an issue because he's like, "You love everybody. You love everybody." Well, yeah, in a sense, but I've when we would talk, I would tell him, before you get off the phone, tell the kids, tell the children you love them, before they leave, tell them you love them. He's like, well, I don't have to. They know, and it made sense because he shows that and it's evident, and for me, it's like, well, I know they know, but tell them. So if I get off the phone, Queen, you and I get off the phone sometimes. It's like, okay, talk to you later, Queen. Love you too. Oh, by the way, yada yada. Okay, gotta go. Love you too. Oh, one more thing. Da da da. Love. So, and that's where he comes in, where it might be like overkill. But those are the last things that I want people to hear. Those are lasting words. So I think that's why I do it. And it might be overkill, but yeah, I've always heard that, and I've always told my children. That's what I'm saying. Like just lessons learned as a young child, just realizing how to implement those things and show them. But I want you. I think in my head, I want you to know. I want to say it because I can show it, but I want you to hear it too. So yeah, yeah.
Queen Kathy B also said that became normal as an adult, but we didn't express that as kids. I
Mm-hmm.
love you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we
Mm-hmm.
did not express that as kids, and yeah, we didn't either. So as a grown up, I've also incorporated that. You know, it's very funny culturally, and we would say, I would say I love you is it's a Western thing. Growing up in Ghana, but I have a friend here. She was my coursemate at Asbury Seminary. And one day I was talking to her, and we had developed a relationship over a long period of time. We become friends. We literally almost talk every day. And one day I said, I love you, and she didn't say anything back. And I realized that it surprised her when I said it, because I'm sure within her family they probably do it. But
Mm-hmm.
me being an outsider, telling her I love you, she found that strange. Ultimately, over time, she also started saying I love you. I was watching a video, and I don't know, but let me share this. I was watching one of these reels. This husband was going to work, right? And his wife ran to him and said, "Hey, you forgot something." And he said, "What? You forgot to kiss me and tell me you love me." And I'm seeing comments, all these negative comments. Woman, why are you running so much for just a kiss and I love you? And I asked myself that question. What if the husband went and never came back?
Mm-hmm.
What will torture her? What is the last thing? You know how people say this? The last thing I said to him, he was leaving the house. I didn't even look at him, or I didn't care about him. And then
Mm-hmm.
all these feelings of remorse start coming in. So though I love you doesn't is words, and it has to be backed by actions.
Mm-hmm.
People know when they are loved. And I think it's important that we express it, but we're not putting pressure on anybody to say I love you. I
Mm-hmm.
will, if you're my man, I want to hear it. Okay, I want to hear. I tell my children, I tell my family, I tell everybody I love you. If you're a man, it doesn't matter how much gold you buy and how many diamonds you get me, I still want to hear it. Okay. All right. Let's go to
Oh,
the
I
queen.
want to say this. Hold on, I'm reading this. King Brian Carter says it's more acceptable for men to show open affection, especially between father and son. I recently saw my pastor kiss his adult son. It was beautiful. I cherished when I hugged and
And
kissed my
Casey.
son. Yes, yes, yes. I just want to say shout out to the Fars. They are awesome people. I'm gonna pull this picture y'all in a moment so y'all can see what he's talking about.
Before you go, can I comment on that? Whilst you get ready to pull, this is so empowering for father and son. The son feels uplifted, the son feels accepted, the son feels empowered or encouraged, and because man to man is not something we see often. You can see a father doing that to the daughter a lot and stuff. In my eyes, I haven't seen that very often, but I can imagine how a son, a grown son, will feel when they get that validation, is the word,
Mhm.
from dad. I think that is so, so powerful. So whilst you pull that up, I
I
just wanted
agree
to.
with you. I agree. I'm just gonna show y'all this picture real quick because I thought it was just lovely. Let me see if this is the one. Yep. Check this out. Don't they just look lovely? Don't they look lovely?
Father
These
and
things.
son.
Hmm. That's both his sons. They look lovely. I'm gonna get this off because I don't want
Oh,
to put
wow.
Pastor Farr with Overcoming Church on blast. But yeah, that is just a beautiful family. Um, his wife is just lovely. So yeah, just lovely, lovely. Shout out to them because they are
Shout
just
out to you,
amazing
Pastor
people.
Farber, for being an exemplary father. And
Yes, yes,
showing
yes.
us
So
the love of the Almighty Father through your fatherhood. That's awesome. That's
yes,
awesome.
yes, yes. I like this too. Husband used to say it a lot to me, but he expresses it instead of saying it. And that's such a big deal. I love that because I know my husband, like, and again, I'll be on that I love you all the time. But he show I mean, and I show it, but he is so I just love my husband. I love my king. That's just a real man. Okay. Let me tell you about my husband. He's a man. And when, we argue all the time. We argue about me saying I'm not cold and I'm bundled up and he just wants to get me a blanket. We argue about him making sure that I eat. We argue about me sleeping well and resting
Why
well.
would you even be arguing
You
with
know,
him? Is
you
that
see what I'm
your
saying?
way of showing
Yeah,
that you love him?
and it's yeah, it's like, oh, I'm fine, I'm fine. No, you're not fine. No, let me get the blanket. I'm like, I'm fine, but and he's learned to he just does it, and that's just love, and he shows it. If I'm at work later than he is because we do work together, he's at home cooking. Anymore, we've been eating out a lot, but he'll come home and cook and clean and do. He's on top of it. He expresses that, and it means so much. So when we're in these relationships, I'll say to make sure that you honor your partner. Women, honor your men, honor your kings. And they don't always have to say it, but when they're showing it, that is you should just feel the love. And if you don't, and that's what they're really doing, they're stepping up and being real men, even in your foolishness, you should probably really check yourself. You know, so let's take care of our kings. I'm gonna leave it at that. Go ahead, next.
Definitely, that's one other aspect of love, how it looks like, even at home. Whether where the word I'm looking for is safety. Love must, in all your relationships, even mother, parents, children, parents, siblings, okay, parents and their siblings, sibling relationships, love relationships, um, colleague relationships, okay, whatever the relationship is, safety is key. And we learn that right from childhood. Okay, one of the biggest things that I'm seeing in mental health affecting trauma is simple things as a child not feeling safe in their home environment. Okay, family must be a source of safety, and it can be, or it can be a source of stress. So, in our relationships, are we feeling safe? What does safe mean? Nobody's, trying to unalive you, right? That's the word now. Nobody's trying to unalive you, but are you safe enough to express yourself and not feel judged and not feel like they're not listening, they're just trying to fix me? Okay, your ability to be expressive in that environment, whether you're with your colleagues, whether you're with your family, whether you're with your friends, whoever you are with, are you safe enough? Do you feel secure enough to express yourself without feeling judged? Okay, loyalty. Loyalty is also huge. Okay. Queen G is a very good friend of mine. We have a special kind of relationship. Okay. We don't see each other. We are not on the phone talking and hugging and doing things. It will be very, it will be very heartbreaking, in my opinion, for her if she learns that I went somewhere and backstabbed her when I could have just come to her. Loyalty does not mean silence. Loyalty means that I can come to you and have that difficult conversation rather than go everywhere, hear it from everywhere by the person saying it. If I do that, then it seems I have another motive of destroying her reputation, which is huge. It takes a lot to build reputation. And one person takes one day and call all your friends, all your loved ones. People go to the extent of calling the employees of their ex-wives or wives or husbands or friends just to destroy them. Love and relationships must feel loyal. So that let me not go jump ahead. Respect, Queen. Oh, are you with me?
Yes.
Respect. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying something and you didn't
No.
know.
I was
Okay.
trying to admit. I'm sorry.
Respect. In our relationships, respect must prevail. We must show respect. And the question is, respect, though there is an expectation of what respect looks like generally, respect is personal. And we need to figure out a way to learn how we respect each other to the point that they understand. And then forgiveness, the ability to talk about it, deal with it. Forgiveness is not ignoring the problem, it's actually dealing with the problem, talking about it, and letting it go. Okay. All right. And so those are the things that look like love in all our relationships. Love must look like all these things. It talks about you being valued. Okay, you being valued to the point that you feel safe, you feel you experience loyalty, you experience respect and forgiveness, and you do the same towards the people you are in a relationship with. We didn't even break down what relationship means, but we are in a relationship with, and I'll leave it for Queen to.
That means stay in relationship. And because we're always in relationship with one another. That's what we don't understand when it comes to respect. And, when it comes to love and loyalty, that can be different when outside of intentional connections. I'll say that. So you've got people that you work with that, you don't have to, love, you should respect them though, you don't have to be loyal. But I don't think that we realize that we are in constant relationship with one another, and we talked about just self-respect and self-love and knowing self, and walking in that is so important when we're out here interacting with other people, because you don't know who you're going to connect with. You don't know who you're going to network with and who you're going to run into, and so making sure that we have the keys and the tools to communicate effectively, right? To be respectful, to understand what love is. And when you're doing business, that's loyalty too, you know so just maneuvering through all these things, it requires you to be mindful, and intentional in your relationships, and that's how we grow. I was listening to something earlier, and I'm gonna put it in the I'm gonna put a link in the comment section. You guys can go look back at it later. But it was a woman by the name of, and I just popped into it earlier today by happenstance. Her name is Sharnetta Prey. I think she goes by something Brown. I'm at to look, but it's Sharnetta Prey. I'll put it in the comments. But she was talking about self love and how we are dealing with relationships anymore, the lack of boundaries that we have for self, and the harm that it's doing to our communities. When we are not engaged in healthy relationships, it affects other people. When we were talking earlier about, growing up and our family dynamics, the way we love one another or not, the way we treat one another affects us as a whole. And you never know the things you're going to say to someone, like Queenie have said, she might be backbiting, you know, and to somebody else, it might not be a big deal. But that one thing she says, as far as reputation, even to self, can cause destruction. And we don't think like that. So I'll say that the way we were loved becomes the way we love. Yes. Yeah.
unless we
We
intentionally
grow.
grow.
Mm-hmm.
And Queen Kathy B, I believe, is the one who wrote this. She said, um, growing up, they knew they were loved, though the words "I love you" were not spoken. I think she said something to that effect. But now we express it as well. And so, looking at what I was just typed there, unless we intentionally grow, it means that their family took what they learned and built on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's what it is. We because okay, one of the things I found out is this: children who grew up in abusive homes, okay, where there's some sort of abuse, are abusing themselves through substance use, through self neglect, through a lot of things, while at the same time, they end up abusing the people they claim they love. Because there's abuse, and that's what they saw love to look like. It's so important what you teach and what you show a
Mm-hmm.
child by your actions. You may say, I love you, but your actions. So, as a child, where I have not been able to decide for the difference, I love you means abuse. And so, in a lot of relationships, they are sadistic relationships where they love to inflict pain in all kinds of ways. Okay, having said that, talking about these points, saving, feeling safe, being able to forgive, what again, loyalty. These points, you got to do it for yourself. Okay, you got to be that person to self. So many of us are struggling with things we cannot forgive ourselves for.
Mm-hmm.
Relationship starts with self. You can't forgive yourself, but you can forgive somebody. It's so important. It's so important. Respect of self. And what does it look like? If respecting self, in respecting self, what does it look like? And what does it look like in respecting others and receiving the same back? So, as you can see, cyclical. Okay, it just goes around from you to others, from others to you. And it's so important that these things matter in our relationships. And that is what, Queen, you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
The way we are loving each other is very questionable. It's become so conditional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll marry you if it doesn't go well. I just leave you. Okay, we can't commit. And one of the things I've come to learn about relationships are hard. I look forward to the day when we focus on marriage. Relationships are hard. We all, listen, I was going to say we all grew up from different homes, but it doesn't matter that we grew up from different homes or we grew up in the same home. It doesn't even matter that we have cultural differences, meaning growing up from another continent and another continent. Respect means the same. There may
Mm-hmm.
be little cultural nuances, okay? But respect is respect across
Mm-hmm.
board. Okay, respect is respect. And one of the other things that affect us a lot are generational patterns.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing group therapy one day and I asked a question. I asked these amazing people, how many of you grew up in a home where your parent abused substances? It was 90% of the people in the room. You see what I'm talking about? Generational patterns. They are following suit. Granddad or grandmom also did it. So if we don't break it here, someone in the family must say it stops here. We are not loving. Like what was the author's name that you were talking about? You
Who?
were just talking about a woman.
Oh, the woman. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Hold on. I don't want to mispronounce. Sharnetta Prey. You guys got to follow her.
Janetta Prey. Okay.
I'm gonna
She's
put it in the
talking.
chat.
You see, the way we have been loved, if we are not intentional, especially when we were loved wrongly, if we are not intentional about it, a man may say, my dad was not home. But because of that and the way I experienced that, I decided that no matter what happens, I'll be in my children's lives. That has been very intentional. So
Mm-hmm.
before he marries, he's already made up his mind. I'm not going anywhere. And God forbid my wife decides to leave me, even though I don't consent to it. I'm going to be intentional about being in my children's life. I'm going to fight to be in these children's lives because I know what it feels like when mom was gone, when dad was not there, when we had only one parent household. I know my mom did her best. I know my dad did his best, but it just wasn't enough for me. Okay. So relationships are birthed out of the relationships we come from. They are birthed from childhood. Okay. And we need to be intentional about these things. Um, okay, there's something called parentification. Okay. Children becoming emotional caregivers. You see a child, mom or dad is high, dad is one of them is drunk, one of them is going to work. They are laying in the couch. The older child begins to take care of the younger children. So they become parents as children. That that's really, it's called parentification. You make the child, you parentify a child. Okay, and that is the word stunt. People used to say this about Michael Jackson. He worked so hard. He didn't get a chance to play, to be a child. So in his adulthood, people are saying he's playing with children because he missed out on that as a child. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not confirming anything. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. But that's what the world was saying about him. Could it be true? He worked in his childhood. Did he have time to play? Okay, so we need to be very intentional in how we are relating to our children. It transcends to how we relate to how they relate to their friends, how they relate to their colleagues, how they relate to their bosses, how they relate to people who work beneath them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Queen.
Yeah, what you said.
And let me say this. Okay, that's what you said. Queen, you're so annoyingly funny. What I said, what did I say? Okay, healing doesn't require blaming. Understanding your emotional inheritance allows you to mature it, not resent it. It is so important. Actually, it is the platform on which to grow.
Mm-hmm.
If your emotional inheritance was not what you expected as a child, right? Was not what you expected, like looking back, because a lot of the time it's looking back. Looking back, what are you doing to be better? We are all supposed to build on what we knew or what we experienced as children. We are supposed to build on to be better, not worse. So it's so important. It allows us to mature it. Okay, it's an opportunity to mature it. And it takes a lot of growth and healing. It takes a lot of growth and healing. And healing comes with work. Relationships are work. I don't like something Queen G did. I love her, I care about her, I love what we have together. I go to Queen. Hey, Queen. I have to figure out a way to communicate that is acceptable, that is respectful, that is thoughtful. So in our anger, we go and that's some of the things all of us, some of us, me, need to learn how to communicate in a way that is received. Relationship is being received, and basically that's easy. It's being received and accepted. Okay, it's what receiving and accepting. Okay, so if your strategy, your method of relating is becoming difficult for the other person to receive or accept, then maybe you need to look at yourself again. How do I move forward from here? So, whatever I do, whatever I say is easy to be received and accepted, and vice versa. Okay.
I've said this before. Sometimes we have to realize when relationships have run their course and there needs to be a break. And it doesn't mean that anyone's a bad person, but it's just, we grow in seasons, right? And so sometimes you just got to cut the fruit off, you just got to cut that weight off, whatever it is. Um, Even taking time outs, that is something that I would do in a heartbeat. If I am, if Queenie and I have a great relationship and like there are just things, she's always complaining. She was, didn't, never attentive, never, it's not worth not being in a relationship, but I had to change the relationship. So now I can't talk to you all the time because every time I talk to you, it's always something crazy, So now I do timeouts, and before I feel overwhelmed in any relationship, I'm going to take a break. I will put myself in timeout. I don't have to answer the phone. I don't have to respond to a text. I don't have to check in or check out, you know. Um, Sometimes we need those breaks to recoup for self. We're in so many different relationships on so many different levels, whether it's chosen or not. We have to have a balance where we take care of self, and reflect on some things. And when you have all this noise and all these voices and all these opinions and all this feedback, how many of us can admit that if Queen Eve and I have an issue with something, we're talking about it. So now, I'm gonna call Queen Kathy calls. I'm talking to Queen Kathy about the situation Edith and I are going through. Edith's talking to her sister about the situation. Her sister, all this noise and no solution. A lot of times we just have to sit down and be quiet and just have healthy relationship with self, and have that come to Jesus moment with self. And we don't do that a lot of times, and we keep investing in things and pouring into things, and then you wind up dry and depleted. And that's how every time you have something to give, there's no substance and it's not worthwhile because we allow ourselves to be depleted. We've got to stop pouring out our substance and bringing in the nonsense. So balance. What is it? Alkaline imbalance on what is it? It's a chemical imbalance. So just keep that in mind. I know we talk about mental health often. That is part of mental healing. It's taking a break and self-evaluating and showing up the next day at your best in these relationships. It requires work with our children, with our spouses. Almost married 20 years, it still takes work. And that work first starts with me. My children are older, it still takes work starting with me. You know, when I go to work, this person gets on my nerves. I can't stand when they call. It starts with me and how I position myself to be ready for these different relationships, these different encounters, and what it means to me, the value or the lack thereof. So
Interesting that you talk about taking time out, and based on that, I want to say this, that one of the ways also relationships become solid is listening and being listened to. Okay, so knowing that we are heard. Okay, so taking that, even if you went to talk to Queen Kathy about what Edith and I are going through, maybe you're expecting a little bit of solution, comfort. How do I approach this? But that's not coming. I'm talking to my sister, blah 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 blah, and then everybody's angry and they're bashing you, and Queen Kathy is bashing me. What they're doing is they're just opening the gap between us, and like you said, there are noises, and now we are just listening to everybody. We are not listening to self. We are not taking the time to listen. Maybe Edith was right. Maybe this is what Edith meant. Maybe I'm listening from emotions, because what I heard triggered something. So I
Right.
didn't even hear the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, taking that moment and process it. And that's why I keep saying you can't process with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You can't process with everybody doesn't have the ability to listen and not be, because people who love us are strongly emotionally connected to us. And I'll give a typical example in the Bible. When Jesus told his disciples that he was going to die, and on and on and on, and Peter got angry and said, "No, you will not die." Peter loved Jesus. He didn't want Jesus dying the way he was telling them and sharing what was going to happen. Okay, Peter loved Jesus, so he was so emotionally connected. But Jesus also knew his purpose. Sometimes people are talking to you based on what they see in you, and we are not at a place in a moment to receive it. Okay, and we share with these people who love us, my sister, your auntie, your cousin, all of that, my mom, whatever. They may not hear it from Edith's perspective, but maybe Edith is saying that, Queen G, I see so much in you, and that's why I'm stretching, that's why I'm pushing, that's why I'm doing this. But in that moment, you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus saw behind what Peter was saying. He knew there was something behind it. I'm not preaching. He knew there was another spirit because the understanding was low. When they came to capture Jesus around the Garden of Gethsemane, the same Peter took a knife and cut out somebody's ear out of love. But in love, sometimes we cut the wings. Let me say it again. In love, we cut the wings of our loved one and stop them from flying. So sometimes we need to have a listening ear and critically assess and process well. Take that Jesus minute, that Queen said, self moment, and sit down and process. If you have a counselor, that's and especially a very good one, they know how to come from the different perspectives to you for you to look at what was said. Why does it hurt so much? Why does it trigger you so much? That's also a relationship you need to have with a counselor, with your mother, with your sister. Okay, it's so important. Healthy love, honest connection, and individuality. Healthy love, honest connection, and individuality. Okay, it allows you to be self whilst at the same time giving you room to connect. So, I have a question for you to reflect on. Where do I feel obligated rather than connected? Where do I feel obliged to do this, but I don't feel connected. I don't feel connected to. I feel obliged to say, to respond to your good morning, but there's no connection. Okay, there are issues that have not been dealt with. I don't feel connected to you, but I'm obliged. So in what relationships do you feel obligated rather than connected? Am I loving or responding from guilt or from choice? Am I loving or responding from guilt or from choice. Queen G said, and that's where, and I'm going back to something Queen G said earlier. And then I don't have to answer the text. I don't have to call you as often. I don't have to check in like I used to because I'm building boundaries, because I'm respecting self. And that's another thing in relationships. There is a limit to the relationships we have. We need to, the word is I'm looking for is compartmentalize. We need to learn to compartmentalize our relationships. Not everybody will go into my bedroom. Queen G, you're a married woman, and I am single, and not everybody will go. In fact, nobody will go to my bedroom. Nobody. My child will.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, my child has a whole lot more access to me and to my home, but not to the extent that my husband would, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Uh, so we need to learn to compartmentalize. Like, this is a work colleague who I love. We meet out and have coffee. We have a working lunch. We talk about work related. We say we are pleasant with each other. But that's as far as it goes. So boundaries are very much a part of relationship. It retains loyalty. It retains respect. It helps with forgiveness, and it helps with everything else. When you know the boundaries or the statutes of limitations to that relationship, you know how to behave, and it keeps it healthy, safe. Boundaries create sustainable care. Without limits, love becomes resentment dressed as responsibility. I could not have put this any better, because then we resent people for things they do
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't define and we didn't create boundaries.
Absolutely.
Queen.
Mm-mm. You did well. I'm over here producing in the background my little notes in the comments. You've done quite well.
So what I have here is love in friendship. Friendship shapes emotional health deeply. Okay. Healthy friendships include mutual. Okay, the word here is mutual support.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel supported in your friendships? Okay. Whoa, we are past how many? Almost an hour now. Okay. Emotional reciprocity. Okay, all right, I'm feeling down, you support me. You're feeling down, I'm there for you. Okay, it just goes back and forth. It's a give and take affair. We celebrate each other's everything that is they are celebrating. We mourn with them when they are crying. Okay, we have honest conversations, and we are growing together. When you're growing more than your friend, there comes a time where they have to fall off. You don't have to come back down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. You figure you help them. You pull them up if they want to come up, but there's no way they should be pulling you back down.
Mm-hmm.
It's no more supportive mutually. Okay, unhealthy friendships are always one-sided. Always, or a lot of the time. Jealousy is masked as concern. Let's be very careful. They come showing concern, so they will be jealous and envious and have these wicked feelings. Gossip about each other, staying small to maintain connection. No, no, you were not born to be small. If we are not growing, developing, maturing, getting better together,
Mm-hmm.
it's unhealthy. And if you can't have that conversation in a healthy manner, that one becomes emotionally manipulated, then what are we here for?
Mm-hmm.
I can't grow and I can't help you grow. So we're going to stay here. We're all going to stay down here. Okay. So your friendship should not require you to shrink. In relationships, healthy relationships, friendships must not require that you shrink. I don't want to get into marriage, so I'm not. I'm an MFC. I love marriage. Gosh, I don't want to get into marriage. When you're choosing a life partner, don't choose it out of frustration. Don't go beneath where you know you shouldn't go. And then you think that you pull him up or pull her up. No, it doesn't help, especially when the female is at the top and the man is at the bottom. It can create a whole lot of problems because naturally it's not supposed to be that way. Naturally. So you need to evaluate, what am I better at? What is he better at? Am I better educated? You need to evaluate all this. Love is not enough in marriage. I'll say it again, love alone is not enough in marriage. When you can't respect the man, and this goes to the woman, and if you can't even respect the woman, seriously, when respect is deficient, it will not work.
Mm-hmm.
It will not work. So if one of you has to shrink in order to be connected with the other, you're starting off wrong. It's a wrong foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm asking this question. Do my friendships energize or exhaust me? Can I be fully myself without performance in these relationships? And our time is spent. We came late, so we got to let you go have your day. I'm seeing the numbers going down. Okay, but answer these questions for yourself. Do my friendships energize or exhaust me? Can I be fully myself without performing, putting up a performance? Many people grieve romantic breakups, but ignore friendship grief. When
Hmm.
you lose a friend, many people grieve romantic breakups, but ignore friendship grief. Friendship is solid. Sometimes the romance may be gone, but before romance started, you probably were friends. You ignore all that. We can't go forward without dealing with these situations. Okay, I've lost relationships that to this day hurts me. And I'm not talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about real connections that I had with people. And for one reason or the other, it's gone. One of the, hey, Bishop, welcome, greetings. So before we end, I'm going to say this. The questions we've asked, growing up, what did love look like? Was it expressive or was it silent? What was the third question? I don't remember. We said respect. Okay, respect matters. The ability to forgive in relationships, creating boundaries, feeling safe. Okay, safety, being authentically you, being able to express yourself or be yourself without performance. Okay, being able to what's the next one? Let me go back and read what I wrote. Okay, and I said healthy love, honest connection, and individuality. Okay, we will put some of these things down in our notes on the platform. I'll put it there on Peak
Okay.
Wellness our platform. It's gonna also ultimately, I'm speaking out of turn. Come up on our website very soon. We'll launch the website for you.
I'm excited.
But all this information is gonna be there. Listen, we love the way we were loved. We love the way we were loved unless we become intentional in growing out of it and becoming better. Okay, relationships matter. Human connections are strong. Some hugs are healing. Sometimes all you need is a hug. Hugs are healing.
Mhm.
Men hugging their sons, validating their sons, because they are also men dealing with what they are dealing with, whether they are young or they are adults. But even as adult men, the power that is in that. And it's not only biological sons is amazing, but I'm talking about even spiritual fathers, mentors, validating these young men. I think for me it's the most powerful thing. It reminds me of a movie I watched. I forgot it. This preacher. I find the title of the movie. It's one of the most. It has to do one of the most powerful movies of men mentoring men that I have seen. Dr. Tony Evans's daughter, the preacher. What's her name? I'm gonna
I
Google
can
it
look it
right.
up.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
Look
Tony Evans, she's a very popular preacher.
Priscilla Shire.
Priscilla's movies. The movie is okay.
I'm looking.
The movie, no what, no, The Forge. The Forge. It's a
Okay.
powerful movie. It's a very powerful movie of men mentoring adult men, or seasoned men mentoring young men, boys coming up at men. One of the most powerful movies. And if every man had that kind of male in their life to walk them through the difficulties. So these relationships, putting your children in places where, especially if you're a single parent, where they're women and where they're men, depending whether you're a single father or a single mother, getting those mentorships. If their father is not in their lives, having that father figures. If their mother is not in their lives, having that mother figures. Healthy relationships, not gossiping about your child doing drugs, but figuring out a way to lift your child from those negative behaviors. Those things are relationships we have no option than to forge in the lives of our children, in our own lives. You are a young mother, you are a young married woman. The Bible talks about the women, the adult women, being exemplary for the younger ones. It's the same across. These relationships are needed. We need these relationships. Like I said, separate an individual, put them alone with no human connection, they will die slowly. They are
Absolutely.
very valuable. Relationships are valuable, but we have to make sure that we forge healthy relationships. And those are some of the what healthy relationships look like, whether in our families, whether in our friendships, friendships at workplace, all of that in the community, all these relationships. What should they look like? How healthy should they be? What is healthy look like? And these are some of the things we've tried to talk about today. I know our time is fast spent, so I will be quiet and let Queen G take us out.
No, don't let me do that. I was looking at this movie, The Forge. I was trying to find the trailer for it. So you
It's
guys go check that out.
it's a powerful movie. I think it's on Netflix. It's a powerful movie because I feel like a lot of the time our men are placed in the position where they have to be strong for everybody. That's why I appreciate your uncle Brian, King Brian. Our men are placed in a place where they don't have real mentors. If dad, I'm sorry, was not able to bring them where they need to be, there has to be another man.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a young boy, a single mother, which was Tony Evans's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm
A
gonna check that
single,
out.
yeah, a single boy, a single mother raising this guy, and the boy is angry, 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 angry. The mother sent her house to have to go find a job. He walks into a job place angry. The owner of the job
Okay.
picked him up and started mentoring him.
Maybe we should have a watch party and we can watch it.
I would love that.
Okay,
I
okay. I
would love
promise y'all, we're gonna get out of here. I promise. If you guys would like to have a watch party at any given time, put a one in the chat if you would join a watch party. And I promise you, we're gonna finish this website and um, we can pick a day. I'll put that all the information on there, and we can pick a day, and we can watch those things. Because I know everybody didn't pay for Netflix, and y'all know I just talked about Netflix last week in my bill.
it's a
So
powerful.
yeah, we
Yeah,
can do that.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's do that. I'll finish the website. We'll pick a day. Thank you everyone for responding. I'll pick a day, or we can pick a day that works for everybody. And we can do it on a replay. If you can't catch it, then maybe we can have it up on the website and you can look at it later. But I'd love to do a watch party with you guys. So we'll do that. And then one more thing, put a 2 in the comments section if you are considering joining us for our book club. I know we said February. We have been working on some things. So I've got the dates finally together, and we had to push it back. So we just made it till March. So it'll be the first Saturday of March. So we're going to be doing Atomic Habits by James Clear. You can get that on Amazon, and I'll put the link in the comment section. We're going to be doing that March. I promise you guys, March, the first Sunday. We're going to start off slow. We will
The
do.
first Sunday or Saturday.
Well, I think March 1st is on a Sunday. So I figured from Sunday to Sunday, if we read on Sunday and then the following Tuesdays, I think we picked
So it's going to be
Tuesday.
Sunday evening.
Well, we would start reading that week, and then that Tuesday, we would get
Oh, I see
together
what you
and
mean.
have the conversation about the chapters we've read. So, yes. Okay, so we're on it. We're on it. We got some traction here. We're gonna get this thing going. I'm very excited. Um, I'm very excited about it. So let's get that going. We're gonna do the watch party. We can let you guys know what we're looking at. If anybody has a time frame that you'd like or would like to request, let us know. We're gonna get some stuff popping. I'm super excited. One more thing I wanted to share for anybody that's in Indianapolis. Um, if you are in Indianapolis, I want you to go to my Queen Aunt Gloria Carter's page. Her book is out. She is having a book signing next Saturday, the 28th. And so I'm going to put her,
Where?
you know what? I'm going to put her link in the comments because I don't know. I know she told me, but I don't know. So if you go to her Facebook page, you can find that. She'll be doing book signings for the books. Queen, I got your book already. So it's in my hands downstairs in safekeeping. So if y'all want to support that and come hang out, she's got her little charcuterie board and stuff going on and got some fun stuff going on. And if you guys go to her or not her web page, but her Facebook page, you'll see her and my uncle. They are so fun. If you've seen her on here, she is she can tend to be serious with because our messages are important, but she is so fun loving and so just bubbly. She's just she's fun.
I
So
will be at the book signing next Saturday at
yes, I know. I think it's like
7.
from 1 to 3. So as soon as we're done here, I'll be popping over there. um Yeah, so check her out and just
Okay.
support. If it's not for you, if you just want to share that with somebody and
And
help
I would like to
the
read the book
author.
because I'm so before this, I'm gonna order mine online. I know you got one for me. It will be a gift for someone, but I'm gonna
There
order
you
mine
go.
and read
There
it.
you go. That'll work. That'll work.
Or
Thank you.
maybe no, I should buy it from her. She'll have books there, right? So
Yes.
she will sign. I'll buy it from her.
Okay. And then the
It's
one I got for
different buying online and it's different getting it from her. So yeah,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
gonna.
yes. Thank you, thank
Okay.
you. All right, so that's all we've got. We're gonna finish up the month strong with the matters of the heart. I cannot wait to finish up the month strong. We are approaching spring, so I think we've had great conversations about loving self and loving others and friends and family. I am ready to talk about some harvest and what we've got going on as we move through the 2026. We just got started, but we're like quarter of the way through almost. So we got stuff to do. We got business to take care of. We've
There's
got
a lot of
interviews
work
to
to
do.
be done. Oh,
Yes. Yes. So
I
we are
miss.
here for it every Saturday. Every Saturday morning, we are here for it. We have things going on. Like I said, Queen Edith always looks like she just took all the time in the world to just come to y'all presentable. I promise y'all, my shirt is not inside out. This is the way the shirt is. It's a
Nobody
comfortable
saw
shirt.
that.
I
You
come on
didn't
here
have to
looking
say
comfortable.
that.
Well, I'm
Nobody
saying
saw that. You didn't have to say that.
well, because I be watching TV and people be saying so. I'm just my point is I come relaxed because I
I'm
am relaxed to
relaxed. I'm
spend
in
time
sweat.
with you all. Look here, you be looking like you about to
I'm in
conduct some
sweat,
business.
Queen.
You yeah, that's the first
See,
time
I
I've
don't
seen
even
you.
have a watch. That's
Yeah, that's
how
the first time I've seen you
busy.
dressed down. Hmm.
That's how busy my morning has been from like 7:30 a.m. Pick home kids, call,
Yeah,
text messages back and forth.
yeah.
So trust me, I try.
And that's why I say you come on here looking this flawless. I just come on here to say I casually just I'm here and I'm excited. I'm overexcited to be with you all. So don't get it twisted. I'll get off here and spruce up for my king. I do fix up well. So, but my point is, we, regardless of what we have going on, I said about Queen Edith because she does work hard. Like I'm still in bed and she's up with the roosters getting stuff done. But it is such a privilege and an honor to come to you guys and for you guys to spend your time with us. It is we are so grateful. We really are. So thank you for your time. So yes, we might be a little late sometimes, and I'm not gonna blame it on nothing crazy. We just life just be life and thank you all for sticking with us, for being patient, for showing up even when we 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes late. You all are here. So we are so grateful. We can't wait to continue to grow with you all.
We grow
I'm
with you
I
and
have
be
got
better
this
and be
going.
better at keeping this time and be better.
Yes, yes, yes.
We
Much.
are
We love
also
you all.
growing, not taking advantage of your love for us, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that is all I got. Unless you got anything, Queen,
I'm closing us out. This is what I'm gonna say. I
please.
want you to reflect on this. How do I show love? Acts of service, words over functioning avoidance. How do I receive love? Comfortable, suspicious, uncomfortable with compliments. Okay. Where do I need healthier boundaries? Family, friendships, work, church, social media. Sit silent with that. And I want to say this gently and quietly before we leave. Healthy love does not erase you. Healthy love does not exhaust you. Healthy love does not require you to shrink. You are allowed to love deeply and still protect your peace. Connection is sacred. And so is your emotional well being. Let me say it again. Connection is who sacred, and so is your emotional well-being. So think about these questions. Who post them under the comment. Think about it, meditate on it, ask yourself those questions, and evaluate, make corrections, so we can all grow together in love. We love you. Have an amazing day, Queen.
Peace, love, and blessings. Till next
Bless.
Saturday.
Thank you.